back. We are. Giveaways indeed. What's up? What's up? We're gonna get right into it. This is truly epic. There we go. YouTube chat is back on the screen. Good. Welcome. We're already at 16 concurrents, so at least one giveaway will be given. We get to 20. There'll be another one. 16 concurrents, so at least one giveaway. So let's see if I can get this going. There we go. So I've made this list public. So that means anybody can make their own. 19 concurrents now. One more and we'll have 2 giveaways. Okay, we're gonna start with Consano. No, we're gonna start with Alamut. So, how are we gonna be rating these tiers? Yeah, how are we gonna be judging these? That's like really loud. I'm trying to find some good music. This is fine, I guess. It's a little weird, but so what are we looking at here? We're gonna start with Alamut. Oh, there we go. 21 concurrents. That's 2 giveaways so far. 2 giveaways. We get to 30. There will be 3. There will be 3. Of course, the giveaways are going to happen at random times of the stream, so stay tuned. participate in the chat. Here we go. So first off, Alamut. We're going to be basing this on a couple things. One, how easy is it to defend this base and hold it? Two, aesthetic quality. Three, functionality. You know, does it have everything you need to run the base? And just general quality, as far as like how, you know, how does it look? Like what is it? How is it positioned strategically? So all those things are going to be looked at. And those are the criterion. So let's just get right into it then. And by get right into it, I mean after I place my Chipotle order for lunch. So that I'm not an angry, grumpy, hungry streamer. There we go. All right, Chipotle's on the way. Okay, Alamut. So Alamut is quite dated, but it's also very defensible, and I think it does look cool. Of course, we're rating current Alamut, not any reworks or new updates that are not released. So, with that being said, I'm gonna put Alamut in B tier. Might be low A, high B. It's definitely large. It has a ton of area to explore. It's very defensible. It's a little dated. Actually, I might put it at the bottom of A. I'm gonna put it bottom of A. I think after you guys see the rework, it's definitely S, but right now it's A. Yeah, you know, we might move it, but Antioch, 20 concurrence. Now we're at 25. Nice. If you guys go on Twitch too, we increase the concurrence. I count Twitch and YouTube. Antioch. This is a newer base, higher quality. It is pretty small, and it doesn't have a giant throne room. I know that's a complaint, but it is very creative and cool and like nice looking. I think Antioch, defensibleness, it's got a lot of gates, so it's not that defensible, but I give it a solid B tier. I think B. I think C is too low. And I kind of feel similarly about Ascalon, although I don't like Ascalon quite as much. The graveyard's very cool, but they kind of just both feel very similar in that way. But I think some reworks and some improvements could really move these up into A if they were improved. It's just kind of basic. I mean, it could be high C, low B. I guess we'll do C. C tier. It is kind of hard to defend because it's in the middle of the Levant. Gosh, you guys are spamming. You hate Ascalon. I don't think it's that bad. Really don't. Let's go Baghdad. Now, this is also known as Lagdad. Lagdad. Where do we rate Lagdad? Obviously, it's very laggy, but it's very pretty. It's huge. If it didn't lag, it'd be great. And for that reason, I'm gonna put Baghdad just below Alamut in A tier. Without the lag, we'd be talking an S tier base. Um, but I would say mid-low A tier, just because it is very laggy. The mosque and just the city design itself is very beautiful, but you can't put it in S with the lag. That's for sure. Let's do Cairo next. Cairo is very aged. It's very fun to siege. I remember having a lot of fun having sieges in Cairo with its little side doors. But because of its age, it has to go in C tier. Maybe just slightly above Ascalon because it has a few more features, but it isn't quite as good. I mean, it isn't quite as good as far as updates. It could be renovated and probably put into B or A if it just had a touch-up. And for that reason, we're going C tier. Now here's a controversial one, which is Constantinople. Constantinople is super small, and it's been complained about for years as being too small. When I originally built it, it was sort of regarded as good looking, but I wanted to make it bigger, and it just Roblox capacity couldn't handle the detail at the time. It was so laggy. It's just functionally, it's more of like a prop than a base. So even though I really like the plaza, it is going to go in D tier because of its functionality. Although I don't hate it nearly as much as everybody else does. If it was my base, I'd probably be disappointed in the size. And for that reason, I am going to put it in D tier. But it really isn't that bad. And I think it's not the worst base you could have. And it's, aesthetically, I think it's quite pleasing. It has its unique style. C tier, no, not quite. I don't think you can give it C tier. If we had an F tier, it definitely would not be an F tier. But next we have Damascus. Damascus is massive. It was built a long time ago, but it's even massive. For now, it's giant. Not quite as big as Acre or Jerusalem, but it's very big. It looks a little dated. It's a little dated, but for parkouring, Damascus is one of the funnest parkour maps. It was designed that way. You can climb the towers. It's really fun to siege with its giant gate. It's like a massive gate. I could see this being top. It does feel like a step up from Antioch, and for that reason, I think I would have to put it in A. It's like top B, low A. It's a little dated. I think with like new props and stuff, it'll look really nice. Really nice. Yeah, I think it deserves an A tier for sure. Jaffa. So this is the new Jaffa, even though we have the old Jaffa image. I really like the new Jaffa. Of the new bases, I think it's probably the best. The coastline is very beautiful. The way the keep's positioned, awesome. It's a great size. And I do just like the design of it. I do like the giant outdoor area. Ali Pars did a really good job with this Jaffa. Just looks really nice. It's a fun matchmaking map as well. I'm gonna have to put it in A tier. I think low A tier, just for the keep and everything. It'd be either high A, low B. Low A, high B. I think high B for now, because I do think it lacks a little bit of that detail inside areas like the keep. People are saying the round table. Yeah, I do think it's better than the old Jaffa, honestly. But B tier makes sense. Next we have Jerusalem. Okay, so Jerusalem's one. It's one of the more recent ones I built. I built it like 3 years ago. And Jerusalem is an awesome map, especially with the changes we've made. I don't know if it's S tier. It'd be like very high A, low S for me. It's so it's got a great market. It's got great religious buildings. It's got a cool military area. And then with the changes we've made, I'm going to put it at the top of A tier. I do think that the lag and the size I could see people having a problem with. But as far as just like functionality and like all the changes we made, I'm really happy with it. So aesthetically, I'm rating it a little higher. But we do need to work on the performance because it's a little bit too laggy right now. And I can see that being a huge issue. By the way, we're at 27 concurrents. 3 more concurrents and we will be doing 3 giveaways, guys. We are at 2 giveaways. Next we have Karak, which has a special place in my heart, even though it is a very mid-base. The underground that was built is cool, but it's kind of not built to the specific specifications I want, and it's just a plain looking castle. However, I think it's very fun to raid, and I think it serves a good function. It's gonna have to go middle of C tier. It's not great. It, as far as like visually impressive, it's one of the most just plain looking castles. Which brings us to our next one, which is Crack the Chevalier. And I'm actually going to... I'm tempted. Like, I could make an argument for S, and I could also make an argument for B. For S, I love the historical accuracy of the castle. It's one of the more historically accurate castles that I've made. But it's a little small. I really like Crack. I think has a great visuals. I'm gonna put it in A. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in A. I'll put it in low A. I mean, I really like it, but I can see why. Oh, that's good. Next, we're gonna go Malbork. Now, Malbork has a really pretty looking keep, and the Teutonics really like it. But for me, it's a low C tier. It's just too small, and it's dated. I think it needs an improvement. Like a rework would really help. But Malbork is just going to be bottom of C tier for me. It's not quite D, but it's just tiny, and I don't feel like an adventurous or something like that. Maybe I'm going too aesthetic here. It is pretty defensible. It is pretty defensible, but we'll go up a little bit. I'll put it in front of Ascalon for its defensiveness, but it's very small. The Teutonics deserve better. Next, Masyaf S tier. This is not even discussion. Masyaf is the definition of an S tier base. Its size is perfect, defensible with its tunnels and gates. It's also extremely well built as far as like how intricate it is on the inside. There's a lot of places to explore. It's super super usable. It's like the oldest base. It just ages like fine wine. Masyaf is really great, and also people have to fight uphill, which can be tough visually, even though there's not a strict advantage fighting uphill versus downhill. I think just having to look up constantly can be tough, and like going up those streets and having people jump down on you. We used to have the parachutes, which people would come down and jump down on, and they would hidden blade you, and those were always really awesome. Just great. So Masyaf S tier for sure. And you could even, like, if there was a double S, it would be in double S. This is cream of the crop. And it doesn't really lag, so it really just, as far as aesthetic, defensiveness, everything, perfect. Lavender just subscribed. Thank you, Lavender, for subscribing. We have reached 33 concurrents. We are going to have 3 giveaways. If we get 7 more people, we will be increasing the giveaways. Now we're at 30, yeah, 33 concurrents. Remember, guys, if you go to Twitch, the concurrents will count. So if you double stream it, it's good. Yeah, I could talk about Masyaf all day. It's an amazing base. It really is. Just, I love it. Obviously heavily inspired from the Assassin's Creed games, but it has its own unique tastes, and even with the new props, I feel like it's going to look even better. Okay, next we have Messina, which used to be the social hub. Messina's a great base. I don't know how it's been working as a base, but I remember it just being very fun as a social hub. I think it's got a great outside area. Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, it's tempting to put it in S, but I don't know if it is. Sophia YF just subscribed. Thank you. I think it has to be an A. I'd even put it, yeah, maybe a look between Alamut and Baghdad. I think it's a great base. Adamo just subscribed. Thank you for the subscription. Now we're at 10 on Twitch, so we have 39 combined. We just need 1 more concurrent, and we will be doing 4 giveaways. Next, we have Montreal, which is the one I've most recently built with the help of Roblox and a little bit of help from Omar, although it was mostly Roblox. I love this base. We've experimented with some new textures, but it just has such a unique look. I think defensible. I've never seen a raid there, but we made it to be very defensible. I'm gonna have to put it in the, and it's also strategically placed. Like, the Templars will never lose Montreal if they're semi-competent. I'm gonna put it in low S, honestly. I really like Montreal. Visually, it's great. It's not quite as good as Masyaf visually. People are saying it's not defensible. Oh, the defense gets crushed by the ladders, that's right. I still think, thank you Desired Fops for the sub. I just love it, and it's in a desert, but it does look great. I just really love Montreal. And it's just like fun to explore, and I just could see myself loving patrolling there and hanging out there. So yeah. So this is actually Old Jerusalem Mosul. It used to be Jerusalem, and now it's Mosul. This is a great base, and actually, as far as activity time, we spent a lot of time there, and I think this is a very underrated and underappreciated base. Mosul is awesome as far as its size. It's great for parkour. Yeah, honestly, S is a great, like, and it doesn't lag. Yeah, I think S is actually appropriate. Maybe high A, low S. It does feel a little bit better than New Jerusalem because it doesn't lag. It just comes together really well. Yeah, I think Mosul S tier. Yeah, I think that's fair. Next, Nicosia. Nicosia is a great base. Nicosia is a great base. It's got the tiers. It's got all the different, all the different leveling with the awesome temple. Yeah, it definitely feels at least an A. It's at least an A. The question is it above or below Alamut to me? I think just above Alamut would be good. Yeah, I think that's appropriate. Yeah. Next we have Palermo, which is one of the newest. It might be the newest base. Besides maybe Ascalon. Palermo, I've not spent a lot of time there. I've looked around in studio a lot when I was reviewing it. I really like the look of this. If you've been to Palermo in real life, it has a really awesome feel. You know, it's a good size. I feel like B is too low, but I also feel like it's distinctively, like, I feel like it's better than Damascus. A lot of people are saying B. I guess B, like high B. It's hard for me to put it below Damascus, but I guess that makes sense. There's too many A's. Yeah, maybe. Next we have Palmyra post rework. So post rework, Palmyra looks a lot better. It's got the tunnel system. It's got its own houses now. It's still very small. So I wouldn't put it as bad as Constantinople. But as far as size goes, like, it's a good side base, but it sucks that it's a capital because it's just too small. And I think for that reason, like, is D tier too low? I think, like, maybe just below Ascalon or above it. You think it's B? People complain about this base so much. Yeah, I think it has to be a C. Honestly, I wouldn't even put it above Malbork. Now, it just got more to do. Next, we have Sion post recolor. Sion just doesn't fit aesthetically into Lionhearts, but it does a little more now. It's got some cool stuff, but I still... It's not... Like, it's better than a D if it's in a fantasy game, but it's a D to me, because it's really just kind of plain. And... I mean, yeah, it's not plain, but it's... plain is the wrong word. It's out of place. It doesn't fit, and I don't know. I do think that it's a D tier. Next we have Syracusa. Syracusa. I really like Syracusa. It is critically small. Aesthetically, it's like a 10 out of 10. The size is really nice. I mean, the aesthetic is really nice, but it's very small. I think high B tier is appropriate. It's actually, like, if not for the size, it'd be way better. I can't put it in D tier. It's way too nice looking. I think it's a nice chill place to hang out. Yeah, I would say B tier. Maybe lower than Palermo, but B tier for sure. Yeah. Next we have Thessaloniki. Now this is actually, like, people love Thessaloniki. The question is, where does it go? It doesn't actually have that many houses, but it's huge. Oh, we are missing Acre. You're right. We'll do Acre last. S tier for Thessaloniki is, like, too much, I think. I think it's, like, definitely below Messina and Baghdad. Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna put it high. I'm gonna put it at the top of B tier. I just don't think it's that good. And honestly, upon reflecting, I think Crack should be moved down as well. I think that's more appropriate. Yeah. Good job, guys, though, remembering. I was thinking I forgot a base, and I just couldn't figure out which one. Okay, last we have Acre. Acre. Acre is gorgeous. Its size is beautiful. It is laggy. It has the 4 different fortresses, which is just incredible. Having those 4 different fortresses is awesome. Acre S tier. Your PC just sucked. Actually, I do kind of concur. I think Acre could actually be made just below Masyaf. I think Acre is definitely S tier. Acre is gorgeous. Zach and I built it. The citadels, from the churches to the buildings. Acre is definitely S tier. And it's a step up from Jerusalem, and it's not quite as laggy. That's right. If the rework drops, we might be moving Alamut. So from the bottom to the top, or top to bottom. What's up, guys? Welcome. We are still chilling at 36 concurrents. We got up to 40. We would have a 4th giveaway. So, number 1 of bases in Lionhearts. Masyaf. Masyaf is 1. It's a beautiful, iconic base. I don't think it can be topped. Number 2, Acre. Its grandiosity. It's just so amazing. The French conquered the world from Acre. They did a great job using it as their base of operations. It literally could fit hundreds of players. It's so in-depth and cool. It's got an awesome area around it. Montreal coming up next, one of the newer bases, followed by Mosul in rounding out S tier. Now in A tier, we have Jerusalem, followed by Nicosia, Alamut, Messina, Baghdad, and Damascus at the bottom of A tier. Top of B tier, Thessaloniki, which could honestly be low A, but I just feel better with it being in B. I just think it's a little bit empty in the keeps and stuff. Prac des Chevaliers at B tier. Next, Palermo, Siracusa in B tier, followed by New Jaffa, Ascalon, or Antioch rather, Cairo, Kerak in C tier, Palermo, or Palmyra Oasis rather, Malbork, Ascalon at the bottom of C tier, and at the top of D tier we have Sayun, and last and least, Constantinople. As unfortunate as that is for me, I went to Rome when I was in high school. I've been to Rome a few times, spent a lot of time in Italy. For my high school senior trip, my dad took me to Rome, and I went to the Piazza del Popolo in Rome. Piazza del Popolo means the Plaza of the People. And in the Plaza of the People, I saw a giant obelisk that Caesar had taken from Egypt, and that's what I based the Constantinople Plaza off. So I do take it a little to heart. I do love Constantinople, but it's not quite what it needs to be. It worked better in the old days, and it just aged poorly. Let's be honest. 38 concurrents, by the way. 2 more, and we will be cooking. Now, in the chat, please let me know what you think uh, of this tier list, of doing tier lists. And I'd also like to do, I'm going to share this right on Twitter. Create a Lionhearts base tier list. So you guys can just go ahead and share that. And you can make your own tier list and we can see. I guess you can do an alignment chart too. So here we are on the tier list. So please, what do you guys think of this tier list? Next, I want to do Byzantine, or I'm sorry, I want to do sub-factions. I want, if somebody can do me a favor and make a template of all the sub-factions and put all their images on here, I will do a sub-faction tier list, which will take me like 3 hours because there's 100 of them. I think there's already a faction one though. So we are going to do the faction tier list today. Sub-faction tier list will come another time when somebody takes the time to make the sub-faction tier list. We will do a division tier list for sure. For sure. Division, sub-faction is a division. So it's classified in the code as a sub-faction. So we're going to be doing a division tier list. And sorry, I'm checking on my Chipotle order now. Not quite here yet. Okay. Let's start on the faction tier list, which I think already exists. Somebody made it. Oh, look at all these tier lists. Nice. This one's more updated. We're going to use this one. So I like how bandits are on here. That's funny. Okay. Keep in mind, I'm not the most up to date with Lionhearts politics, but this is going to be a very historically based tier list. So we're going to take a couple factors in mind. Okay, one, how good have they been in the Lionhearts meta? Meaning, since Lionhearts, not Third Crusade, Lionhearts, even though these factions existed in the Third Crusade, how effective have these factions been at conquering, at sustaining activity, at just existing? You know, how stable has their leadership been? That's number one. Two, how cool is their faction aesthetically? Their outfits, their bases. Like the bases we just did are going to play a huge role in this. You know, how cool do they look? Three, how honorable are they? How do they treat their members? How are they received publicly? How are they hated? Are they loved? And just general activity. Okay. And this is not going to be recency bias. This is going to be my knowledge as the creator of the game, paying attention for years. Like, we're going to be taking into account years of data to evaluate this. It's not just going to be, oh, Abbasids took a base last week, so they should be S tier. No, this is going to be all time. Okay. with that, are we ready to begin? I'm going to make a poll. So first, we're going to do a poll for the last base tier list. So please vote in the poll on YouTube. Looking good so far. I can pull it. I don't know how to poll on Twitch. If somebody could teach me how to poll on Twitch, I will make one. I do not know how to. So the poll results are in. It looks like 84% of people think I did a good job with my base tier list. So maybe I know what I'm talking about. I did make most of those bases. So this one, you guys might not agree with as much. I imagine a lot of you are going to be upset with this next tier list. By the way, guys, be sure to leave a like on the stream so we can get better discoverability. I see about half of you have liked it. The rest of you could leave a like. That would be great. And it looks like my food is delivered, so we're just going to take a very, very slight break before we do the Lionhearts tier list. For factions, do not go anywhere because this next one's going to be even better. I'll be right back. Hey, look at that. We are back. Here we are. Back and back and back and back. Just inhaled my food. It's inhaled. I'm kind of afraid to do this one. I feel like a lot of people are not going to like me after doing this one. But no, the truth must reign free. The truth can't hurt you. Okay. Here we go. Abbasids. I really like the Abbasid outfits. Like the green. Green's my favorite color. So I really like green as their color. Baghdad's really cool base. The Abbasids have historically been one of the less active. Not the least, but less. When you take that into account, Abbasids are going to go right into C tier. I think they have potential to be A if they were very active. So, but they're not. It should be kept in mind too. I mean, for people looking to join factions, don't take my word for it. Abbasids are a great faction. All the factions are great to join. This is my personal preference and based on the history of Lionhearts. Abbasids have had a long periods of inactivity. They might not be inactive now, but they have been. And again, this is a tier list for all time. By the way, guys, we have reached 42 concurrents, which means there will be 4 giveaways. 4. So that is good news. Next, we have Antioch, led by my good friend, Valor. Where will it be? Where will it be? F tier. I like how F is in this tier list. Antioch is not F tier, but historically they have been very, very dead. And unfortunately, not out of recency bias, but I am going to put Antioch in D tier. Even though I really like Antioch, they are simply not historically the most active faction. And they have a better base now, but it hasn't been the best in the past. I am biased. I'm 100% biased. I am 100% biased on this. Luke the Master on Twitter, hello. Next we have my home faction, which, if you guys didn't know, I actually was the mentor of the Assassin faction for almost 10 entire years. 9 years and 3 quarters. I was mentor of ACEA from 2009 to 2019. Wow. It's been that long since I've been 5 years since I've been mentor. Holy. I'm going through a midlife crisis. Oh my god. I have to put it in S tier because it's my faction. And Activity-wise, it always does okay. It has the best bases. It has the best bases. It's very active. It has great uniforms. If I was just doing it based on recency bias, they would be B tier. Just so you guys know. I am somewhat accounting for my history with them, which is why they're an S. But given their recent activity, it could be B tier. They have not impressed activity-wise lately, especially given how many AC kids would just come and join immediately. Ayubids. Ayubids are A tier, for sure. Ayubids had the legendary tankfish thing. They've always been competitive in territory battles. Often, Ayubids are active. They don't go through long stretches of inactivity like other factions, like a lot of the other Muslim factions do. And that's really good. And they also have had some good leaders in the past, and they have some decent bases. And I would say the worst point against Ayubids is their uniforms. Like, their uniforms have just never been good. They've just never been good. And for that reason, they are A tier. Not S tier, because despite all this, Antioch has never conquered the whole... Ayubids have never conquered the whole map. They've never... maybe outside the tankfish era, they've never really made huge strides. But they have been very good, considering everything. Glad I got some caffeine coming in. Help me think a little bit. Next we have bandits. I like how this is on here. I'm gonna save this for last. That's not technically a faction, but it's... I'm also going to include another one. So we will do Bandits and Pilgrims last. And also, of course, the other one, which actually is a faction. There we go. We will also do Malta. Okay. Byzantines. Oh boy. Byzantines are furries. It's true. I think Byzantines are actually... I'm going to put them in A tier because they've been very active for a long time. They've had a history of leaders that are active. Now, their base isn't great. Their outfits are sick. Byzantine outfits might be the best in the game as far as uniforms and helmets. They do a very... I don't think Constantinople's been taken in like 2 years. They've never been vassalized besides when they surrendered to France. So, I think they're a good A-tier faction. As much as I like to... It's on here, bro. Malta's on here. Right here. As much as I like to disparage them for being furries, because they are... I think A tier is appropriate. Next, Cypriots, led by my good Helldiver friend, Lettuce. Lettuce is a super-based leader, by the way. He's exactly what you want out of a leader. He is very resilient. They can be vassalized for months, and he will still fight back. And for that reason, Cypriots I give a lot of credit to. However, they are not an A-tier faction. They are not an S-tier faction. I would say, at most, they are B-tier. They just don't bring the numbers. They just haven't had the activity, and they've been very dead in the past. They have a nice base in Nicosia. I'm going to put them in B tier. No, I'm going to put them high C. With all I've been said, without Lettuce, Cypriots would be D. Lettuce has made Cyprus far better. High C tier. Next, we have the Kingdom of England. Kingdom of England, or Crusaders of England. I would say of all the factions, I'm most disappointed in KOE as far as their ability to achieve. Historically, King Richard the Lionheart is the coolest historical figure that you could ever have. And they have totally underachieved to this. They often get stomped in battles. They have cool outfits. I'm in KOE on Credenzio. That being said, they've been better than some other factions for sure. It's just when you account for how much they should have done based on what they did do, it's underwhelming, to say the least. And again, you have to take this a whole history of Lionhearts. They are going to the bottom of C here. Not quite D, but they have a lot of work to do, and they just honestly have not impressed me in any way. Next, we have Kingdom of France. Kingdom of France is an S-tier faction. I don't like fart jokes. I don't like the French. So you could see me working against my bias here. The French annoy me very much. I don't like French philosophy. I don't like French literature. I don't like French history. Okay, but Leo put France on the map. When we made Lionhearts, he was one of the first leaders we contacted, and he kept France at the top for years. France conquered the entire map. They did it through brilliant diplomacy. They have an amazing base in Acre, and they've just done a great job. They're just dominant. And that's all that can really be said about them. Whether you love them or hate them, you can't deny France's success on the battlefield, France's success in trade, France's success in diplomacy. Diplomacy alone makes France S tier. By far, the best use of diplomacy in the Parabellum era in Lionhearts, not even close, bar none. Their strategic and political maneuvering is just top tier. It's fallen off since Leo's left, I'm not going to lie. The lack of Leo at the helm has made France suffer, and if Leo was still in charge, they would be at the top of S tier. I even have trouble putting them below Assassins. Again, Assassins is there because of my bias. But France, solid S tier. And that's just it. Now, they're not... you know, they are French, so there's that. And that could put them in F tier alone. F for France. No, they will be in S tier. Okay. Hospitallers. France is easily above Byzantines. Byzantines are good in their little quadrant, but Byzantines rarely ever conquer far outside of their own northern Levant. The other thing about Byzantines is they easily have the most defensible territory in the game. So. Next, we have Hospitallers. I spent the most time in this faction recently on my alt, Protoss Supremacy. You guys all remember that saga. And I leveled up. It has trouble with its leadership. My friend Grandmaster Nablus, who led it, his name was Chevalier. We used to call him Shovel. And, you know, it's never quite gotten to the level that it should, but it is an original Lionhearts faction. It's been here. It's one of the original 4 or 5 factions that Third Crusade had. And I know I said I wasn't going to be rating on that, but I just am, because that's who I am. So I kind of lied, I guess. I love Hospitallers. The history is great. Like, I think the aesthetic is very pleasing. It's easily in line with my values the most. Like, a Christian stoic value system is really great. Activity-wise is left to be desired. There used to be a period when Hosp and Sicily was a very big powerhouse. The Hosp-Sicily Alliance could make things happen, and they did for a long time. And it's fallen off since. But with them having Messina and Crack as their bases, I think that Hospitallers are definitely above D, and I'm going to have to put them at the top of C tier. I just think historically they're great. They've got a lot of... They've been like mid, but they've been mid for a long time. They've never been like terrible, and they've never been great. They've just been mid. They've just been mid for the longest time. We've got a TTS.
202 just endorsed $1.28. Cypress is at Lister tier.
Nice. And that's really good. I need to get that to play on my computer because it doesn't actually play. And I don't know why. I wish I knew why it didn't. It should. Did you guys hear that through my mic? Did you guys hear that through my mic, or did it actually play is the question. Okay, well, thank you for the donation. It's through my mic. I don't know how to fix it. Maybe Braden can help. Okay, sorry about that, guys. If you do TTS, you do get to donate and have a message played. It supports the studio. All the money goes to the studio. By the way, we are just one concurrent away from 5 giveaways today. So keep that in mind. One more concurrent, and we will be at 5 giveaways. Next, we have HRE. HRE is a good faction. They've done well historically. They've operated independently historically, and they've done a great job throughout the history of Lionhearts. For that reason, I think they are B tier. It's not A because they've never really been... I've never thought of HRE as a faction I should be afraid of, but it's always been a formidable foe. You wouldn't want to fight them, but it's not the worst thing. I would much rather fight HRE than any of the factions above. Their role-playing aspect could put them into A tier potentially because they are actually, you know, I really enjoy the role-play element. I actually think it's better for a faction. But HRE also could get into A tier if they actually did something like conquer all of Southern Levant. And if they conquered all of Southern Levant, took Jerusalem, and held it for a while, and really started to, instill fear, I think they would be A tier for sure. And they've never really been dead. I mean, they were dead a little bit when they were first introduced, but they've never been dead to me. So, the old KOJ logo, but we have Kingdom of Jerusalem. Kingdom of Jerusalem. And let's see where we put KOJ. Now, KOJ was in the Third Crusade. Originally, it was the only faction you could vassalize. So, essentially, there were the Crusader states and the anti-Crusader states, the Assassins, and KOJ. So, there were 4 conglomerates in the Third Crusade. Whoever conquered Jerusalem would own KOJ and Jerusalem at the same time. KOJ in modern Lionhearts has done a great job accumulating wealth, positioning themselves as a stable force in the Levant. However, they have never become a powerhouse for a sustained amount of time. For that reason, I do want to put them in B tier, although a little bit above HRE just because of their wealth, of their ability to accumulate gold, of their way to just kind of stabilize. But, as far as activity goes, they would be below HRE, I would say. They're not... Yeah, I think below HRE is more fair. Like, if you were to put KOJ versus... A way to think about this is, like, who would win, KOJ or Hospitallers? Probably KOJ most of the time. Who would win, Hospitallers or Cyprus? Historically, just barely Hospitallers, right? Think about all history. Abbasids and KOE, like, you could probably flip these, but I think it's probably appropriate. Just because a faction's hated doesn't necessarily mean it's D tier. I know Baylor did a great job getting a lot of activity to KOJ. Next, we have Seljuks. Guys, this isn't about today. This is historic. This is about the last 5 years of Lionhearts. 5 years, okay? This isn't yesterday KOJ didn't rally any troops. Seljuks, okay, so it's kind of funny. Seljuks used to be the most dead faction, and in the last couple years, they've actually been quite active. Seljuks never quite made it to, like, Super Saiyan mode. However, they did have a long... If you really, like, want to look at it, they had, like, a period where they were really low, and then they just shot up, and they've been a lot higher. And they do sustain their territory. It's kind of funny how unstable they are. They get a rebellion, like, every 3 weeks. Yeah, and for that reason, I'm going to have to put them in C tier, especially because of their lack of activity, but I am going to put them at the top of C tier. Definitely, could be improved in a lot of areas, but it's, like, if you were just doing this based on the last year, they would be B, but when you take all this instability and how dead they used to be, I think top of C tier actually makes sense. I get that they're active now. I'll put them low B. I'll put them low B, not to crowd C tier, and I do think it's probably fair. They have been doing a good amount lately. Yeah, I think B is fine. Low B. Like, that's a very low B. Next, we have the Kingdom of Sicily. Now, Kingdom of Sicily actually was very active in the past, but that doesn't matter. They've been dead for a long time. D tier. Bottom of D. They would be F if they didn't have the Great Hoth-Sicily alliance, which basically made them very active and dominant in the Lionhearts for 18 months. But honestly, Sicily's been very disappointing lately, and for that reason, we have to put Sicily in D tier. And that's not much of a decision. Not much of a thought process. That one's an easy one. D tier for Kingdom of Sicily, which, by the way, I would love to join if they have really cool outfits. They have some cool bases. But they, like, if I wanted to pick a faction to beat up on, like, if I was trying to take over a faction, like, what's the easiest faction to conquer? I would say Sicily. I would say Sicily. Easily. Next, we have the Templars. Templars are S tier. They were only going to go below France because of France's ability to conquer the whole map. But when you think about Templars, it's one of the most innately attractive factions. They have some of the most members in the faction list if you look. They have an awesome base. They have great uniforms. They have a great history. The Hero Doctor was an amazing leader. He stabilized Templars for years. Templars have never been crazy active. I mean, they have, but they've never been, like, overwhelming you with force, but they are always a formidable force. You never want to see a Templar Legion lining up against you. It's just like you would rather not. They're going to be well equipped. They're going to have good tactics. They're going to be organized, and they're going to make pretty racy and edgy jokes as they kill you. So it's not ideal to be facing down a Templar Legion. That would just be not a good day for you. And they're even though they have a lot of members, they're more of an elite force. On a per member basis, I might be most afraid to fight Templars. Like, if you were to take an average Templar, I think that they would beat an average any other member of any faction, just as far as quality. Next, we have the Teutonics. And the Teutonics, and again, guys, remember, this is about the last 5 years. It's not just recently. Templars have always been elite under Grandmaster Paint, under all sorts of things. They've been an elite faction. Teutonics are going to the top of A tier. Teutonics, when you talk about fodder, Teutonics will flood you with recruits. They do great at recruiting. They are just very dominant, especially recently, and this is what's keeping them out of S tier. The reason that they are out of S tier is because years ago they were dead. They were not an active faction. They were very small, somewhat elite, but just dead. They also don't have a very good base. Malbork is not a good base, as we reviewed in our base tier list, which you can go check out. Teutonics are just not a great stabilizing faction. Like, they've only been active for a few years, and it's been very active, but I would put them in A tier, just as far as historically. And I think those of you who have been here 4 years will understand my point. And new gens in this chat, maybe you've only been here since 2020 or 2021, you might think this doesn't make any sense, but for those of you who are here, or you will remember, Teutonics were very dead. And they also do lose to Zangids. That's true. They do lose to Zangids, which does keep them out of S. Now, one of the reasons that you could argue with S is the fact that they defeated France in the summer, which was one of the most legendary moves you could imagine. They were down massively, and they did a War of Attrition campaign where they sieged Malbork and Acker over and over and over and over and over again because they were all on crack and they had no sleep, and they just kept raiding and they took it, which is pretty based. Also, being the leader of the Federation, pretty cool. So A tier, I'm going to keep them out of S for now. I just don't know if it feels appropriate to put them in S at this point. In another year, if they are still as dominant as they are today, I think it would make sense to move them up into S tier. Next, we have the Zangids formerly known as Mosul. And they are going to have to go straight into D tier. It could even be argued that they are F. This is historically the most inactive faction. Recently, not as much, but they were literally dead. Nothing for years. If they picked it up recently, it is totally new. Their meme potential, I have to give them a little more credit because of their memes. Zangid memes are actually hilarious. They like playing soccer a lot. If they spent more time playing Lionhearts instead of playing soccer, I would, they might move into C or B tier. They have won a lot of wars. It's recent, guys. I mean, you have to understand how dead Zangids really were. Okay. If you guys feel this strongly, you know what? I will switch them out with KOE because I think you guys probably know a little better than me about it recently, but I still think that might be generous. Zangids have not been active historically. Just not. Really not. Yeah, Zangid memes, I think Zangid memes do put them into C tier. Next, we have the Malta. That goes for the 16 factions. So everybody escaped F tier, although Sicily. Every faction has had periods of activity. Like before Valor, Antioch would be F tier. And before, and if Sicily and the Hosp Alliance didn't happen, Sicily would be F tier. But each faction has had some periods of dominance and activity, which is nice. Next, we have Maltese faction. And I think this is kind of funny, but the Maltese faction is actually a solid A-tier faction. And the reason it's an A-tier faction is because the story is really fun and cool. And it's just awesome to see people play through the story. Maybe a little bit lower than Teutonics. But the Malta faction, A-tier. Definitely A-tier. Next, we have Bandits. And if you think about it, I never know a single base that the Bandits have ever taken. F-tier. For sure. For sure. And finally, Pilgrims. This one's obvious. Top of S-tier for the Pilgrim faction. They are the nameless, faceless faction. They will come for you in the night. They will take no prisoners. They will destroy you with their wooden, infinite durability swords and make you wish you were never born. That goes for the end of this tier list. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was this one a little wild? Yes, it was. Keep in mind, again, this is totally based on the last 5-6 years of Lionhearts. So, do not take into account recency bias. By the way, we have reached 52 concurrents, meaning we will have 5 giveaways. So, I'm going to do a poll. I'm not sure people will feel the same way. Okay. And we're going to share this on Twitter. So most people do disagree with the tier list, which is fine. Which is fine. I kind of expected it. Let's see how I can save or download this. I think I already downloaded it. If we're talking all time, Assassins are definitely in the right spot. You were crazy if you think France is better than Assassins all time. Assassins are literally the foundation. A lot of you might not know that I made Lionhearts based to support the Assassin faction, so they would have somebody to fight. It's the Assassin's world, and you're all just living in it. The sooner that you realize that, the better. Welcome, new member. Okay. Let's see what the next tier list is. People of Lionhearts. Oh no. This is great, man. Oh. Homies with extra cronies. You suck. This is really funny. I'm gonna do this one. This is gonna be epic. Okay. This is gonna be great. By the way, guys, if you make more tier lists, I will do them on my next stream. So go to this and do whatever tier list you want. No. Next, we have the people of Lionhearts. I didn't make these tiers, but I'm gonna change these tiers a little bit. We'll do. Banished to Ohio. That's kind of funny. It's a little bit too modern for me, but I guess I'll use it. Okay, who is this? Zero Island Park. I don't even know who that is. I don't know who Zero Island Park is. By the way, guys, great time to please subscribe, leave a like. If you have not, we will actually do a couple giveaways. Pretty close here. I don't know who Zero Island Park is. They're not in the Discord. I do not know you. Okay. Ahikos? God. I'm gonna look through DMs and stuff because it is hard to keep track of everybody in my head. I do know Ahikos. He is a cool guy. And he's been respectful for me in DMs, which is nice. And whenever he has a problem, he's very polite. So we are going to give him a B tier. I don't know how I feel about this ethically, like rating people. Are they going to take it too personally? I don't know. Shadow Skull. Oh boy. I think he is a homie with extra chromies. He's cool. He's a cool guy. Yeah, I think he's A tier. You know, he's great. I don't know who this is. 8 Parabellum. Who is this? Is this Aussie? No. Who is this? Yeah, by the way, Varaki is on here, which is not great. I don't really want him on here, honestly. Alternate? Oh, alternate. I remember alternate Parabellum a little bit, but not enough to really rate him mid. Andrew, god of Lionhearts. A little inactive, but he is a god of Lionhearts, of course. Braden, you're too much of a new gen to be on this list. Let's be honest, buddy. You'd be banished to Ohio for sure. This is an old gen list. Yeah, it is. Bellator. I remember Bellator a little bit, but not that much. Lost Arch. I don't know who this is. I don't know who you are. Atlas Parabellum. Never talked to him. That I remember. Wrecker. I barely remember you, dude. Avraham. I think I've messaged you a few times. People are gonna get upset. They're gonna be like, Myth, we were best friends. Oh yeah, Avraham. I've not messaged him since 2020, but he was a cool guy. I don't know who this is. Don't know who this is. Big John. Definitely a homie with extra chromies. The guy was the mentor of ACA. Bit. Okay, Bizarre. I don't know who this is. I have to just go speed run. Bubba. Buff Sicilian Man. I think I remember this guy making me upset. I'm gonna put him in D. I don't know you. God of Lionhearts, Katie Lee, definitely. She was more active than Andrew, so she's going above Andrew. Break was taken. Is Carrillo Desired Fops? No. I don't know who that is. Club Guy, 992. I think that guy was pretty cool. Ace Nugget, I don't know you. 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 Dr. Osman. I have no idea who that is. Wait, did I put... Wait, which one? Is this Cyborg Gallant? I can't... Is it... I can't see these names. Diamond Scripter? Cyborg Gallant? Oh, yeah. Homie with extra chromie. Diamond. Who's Diamond? I don't know who it is. Dylan DePercy. Cool guy. Epezi. Also somebody that pissed me off. Oh, he could also be... He could be S tier, but he's also somebody that pisses me off, so he's not. One moment, I'm getting a call. Xfinity calling me. Diamond? If Diamond's the one from Hosp, and I know him, and he's cool. Bug, Headhunter. Brief Wizard. Homies with extra chromies for sure. If he was still around, he might be a god by now. High-end gaming. Cool guy. The Hero Doctor is a legend of Lionhearts, for sure. God of Lionhearts. Ice Cube Blitz. Cool guy. Ignis Parabellum. Homie with extra chromie. Infinity. He might be a god if he was a little more active. He's definitely a homie with extra chromie, maybe even at the top. Actually, wait. Brief did get banned. He's banished to Ohio. Speaking of banished in Ohio. Jeus Creased. Isaac banished to Ohio. Kuro Gorilla. Mid. Maybe. Laser Rothward. I think I remember. Leo, God of Lionhearts. Lock Wastakin. I think I remember him. Marv, homie with extra chromies. Beatty, banished. The Dutch Crusader. All the way up there. Oh, Mythandir, of course, banished to Ohio. I gotta put myself at the top of the gods of Lionhearts. At the top of the gods of Lionhearts is me, of course. This list isn't that old because this is a new profile picture, relatively. Mardor, I don't know you. I think I know this guy. Why is Isaac on here twice? Oh wait, no, this is different Viraki. Also gets banished because he's a Viraki. Warg is actually a god. As stupid as that is. Actually, he's just a homie. he could be a god. He's pretty good. Jeff DePercy, where did I put you? If I don't recognize the 19 different names, which one are you, Jeff? I don't freaking see you, man. Ethan is a homie, a cool guy. Ah, we'll give him a homie. We'll put him in homies. Senior Baron Jeff. Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. They should have used like a wide view so I can actually see the names. Rastamus is cool. God of Lionhearts, Richard the Bot. Maybe the God, actually. Legit Rothward? Who is that? Is that Sniper? I don't know. We'll wait to... Run to Wind is like a god, almost. Brian's Gaming. Cool guy. Why am I tier listing people? I don't know, man. I just saw it. I think I remember this guy, maybe. If I kind of remember you-ish, you might get... Sleeping Wolf. If he stayed head admin for more than 3 days, he might have gotten to God. There's Sniper. Sniper's up here. Tarask. Carnivar. Yep. Purging Saturn. Wait, Tarrasque is not a god. Let's get out. I think Saturn's probably going to be the top of homies with extra chromies. Not quite god, but top. Yasu Kraz. He's like the bottom of the homies. Barak. Uber PT. Operation Yep. It's up there. Spaghetti. He didn't get banned so many times. He'd be higher. Actually, no, he is banned, so he's banished to Ohio. Never mind. Calm, where are you? I can't see everybody's names. Godson, homie with extra chrome. Who is legit Rothward? I don't know who you are. Sorry. I don't know who you are. Is this Navos? He is a cool guy for sure. Amber. I feel like I've messaged this guy a few times. Dave, I don't know who you are. Real Texas man, I've talked to you. Killa, definitely a homie with extra chromie. Atla, guy. Here we are. The Lionhearts community tier list. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. Jeez Louise. Holy cow. I don't see you, Calm Games. I'm gonna go through this and just make sure break was taken. Wait, I kind of know that guy. I'm gonna put him in bed. If you guys knew how many DMs I got, you'd be a little more forgiving if I forgot you. Bitzar, I think I know you. I don't know why Civilin's not on here. Feels like we're missing some key names. Civilin should definitely be here, and God here. Who did I miss? Who did I miss, man? Oh, I'm missing... The chat's not refreshing. That's why I'm... Okay. It seems like you guys like these tier lists. We've got... We managed to get almost... If we just got 2 more, we would get to 6 giveaways. We just need 2 more to get to 6 giveaways, by the way. These are good engagement tier lists. Do a philosophy tier list? I really would. I really would. I'll literally tier list anything. Fast food tier list. Division tier list. I know nothing about the houses, so... Okay. So, we've got 45. Okay, we've reached 60 people. 60 concurrents. Congratulations. We are doing 6 giveaways. Means 6 of you will be lucky enough to win a prize. I'm going to do the first 3 giveaways, and then I'm going to be right back. And I will be streaming more. So, I'm going to end the stream, but I'm going to be streaming again, and I'm going to be streaming again in probably an hour or so. So, I'd love if you all came back. We'll be doing more gameplay, more giveaways, more streaming. It seems like you guys really enjoyed this stream. A lot of fun engagement. And so we'll be doing more stuff like this. Again, please make your own tier lists. I need to do the giveaways, so I'm going to... Emikil Personnel, you have won a free weapon skin of your choice. Please DM me on Discord. Emikil Personnel. Emikil Personnel has won. Let's see who else. Stefan Borodaki, you have won a free skin of your choice. Please DM me. Luke the Master, you've been winning a lot lately, buddy. He tunes into all the streams. You have won. For the next 3 giveaways, we will be doing the next 3 giveaways and more in the next stream. So, if you'd like to get the rest of the prizes, please tune in to the next stream. We appreciate it, guys. This was great. This was fun. Yeah. I am very much looking forward to the next one. I've written down your names. Definitely send me a DM with all the info. Peace out. Girl Scout. Take it easy. That was really fun, guys. Please make tier lists so I can do more. Make more. Do divisions. Do whatever you want.